Up, you'll be right.
Oh, look out.
Have the fans chosen a new favourite?
Simon, did you get teased at school for your freckles?
Yep.
And Alex reveals his struggle with Brett.
Three of us sat there and we cried our eyes out.
Hello, welcome to the Hot House. It's semi-finals time, the in-laws are here, and landscaping has finally begun. This is a very interesting week indeed, and tonight, thanks to the fans at the fence, we finally get to see another side of Simon and Jules.
It's week 10 in the Hot House, and the in-laws are visiting. Some contestants have volunteered their own bed space, sleeping themselves in the tents.
How's camping life? Crampy, noisy.
But it's a noble gesture that's appreciated by Tina's mum, Marie. She remembers her first impression of the hairy tent dweller.
When I first met Pete, I think he was, long head.
Very tattooed.
Tattoo. Yep.
Basically, the first thing she said to me when I met her was, "So you're the reason why my daughter's not coming home at night."
In Caravan 6, a similar story.
Jules came home and said she'd met this great guy. And she said, "But Mum, I've got to tell you something. He's got long red hair, he wears an earring, and he rides a motorbike."
She really made me feel welcome into her family. It was the first thing. I felt very accepted and, I know she wanted to love me the moment she saw me.
What about the boys?
Campers are all tents.
Yeah, that's something I've never heard before.
I wondered who this dark, quiet guy walked into my house, and I was quite shocked because he walked up and went, "G'day, how you going? I'm Jeff." Just like that. For the first 10, 15 seconds or so, it set me back on my heels. And I thought, well, there's somebody as good as me.
First impressions. Loud. 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 That's it.
But there's no time for reminiscing. The couples are needed on site. It's time to get a move on with the soft landscaping.
OK, guys, we've got to get this rock into the barrow. Instead of lifting it up into it, what we do is bring the barrow down to it, OK? So all it is a matter of laying the barrow like so, roll the rock into the barrow. Now grab the bottom of the barrow, OK?
One at a time.
Gotta be kidding.
Reel them over.
Can we just have an assembly line and sort of pass the rocks like that?
If you can pick them up, you'll be right. Oh, look out.
Because that would happen.
Tina wants to know why gym junkie Jeff can't just pick the rocks up. After all, they only weigh about 50 kilograms and he can bench press up to 120.
But this is different because,
Well, then if you can
a rock is a... Yeah, but a rock's a rock.
You can have one
love.
of each arms and you can...
But the weights are evenly distributed on a bar. This is all over the place.
Yeah. Oh.
It's all right.
Dangerous.
I'm all right.
From the
This
base.
bullshit, man. You must have an easy way of doing it, do this. Like this.
Babe.
So that's
That's
it.
the way it's done.
The landscaping is slowly coming together, but Jeff's not too sure about how it looks.
There's actually quite a few more rocks than I actually thought, even looking at the plans. So it's actually getting very stony, but yeah, I guess it's okay.
And what does he make of his co-worker, Pete?
Pete should just listen a bit more to what's been said and follow directions a little bit better, but it's working. It's working out. We got it. Let's finish the house in a week, so you got to do it.
On the other side of the house, Jeff's partner, Brett, has been working so hard, he's managed to bend his shovel.
Oops. I think I busted it. Cheer, mate. Sorry about
Look at this, hey? At least we know you're trying hard, eh?
that. I am trying hard, not getting far.
Nice, soft, Bribey Island sand. Jeez, that's a good back scratcher, actually. Back muscles.
Where'd you put?
Oh, look, I fixed it.
Oh, there you go. Keep going.
Outside, the fans are starting to gather, and Simon and Jules are grateful for the support the so-called gate people give.
It's really lovely. It sort of gives us a little boost to, to know that there's people out there that support us, because we have no contact with the outside world.
They've been working on a project to return some of that kindness back over the wire.
So it's good to do something back for the people who've made the effort, I think. Hopefully some people will be able to take these home and
you know, have a memento or something, you know, make it worthwhile that they made the trip to the fence.
So all the couples have joined in for a surprise for the fans. Coming up, not everyone loves Brett and Jeff.
And why were you so rude to Tina the other night when she had tea with you?
And what's going on outside Caravan 6? It's day 64 on the hothouse, and as the outside starts to take shape, Pete's put on to staining the decking.
If you get a good job and make it last you a long time, you don't have to get the shitty jobs.
In the front yard, preparations must be done for the turf. This week, Simon and Jules and Brett and Jeff have been nominated for elimination. So each couple is given a chance to meet the public that will soon determine their fate. Unlike the remaining contestants, Simon and Jules are normally shy around crowds. But today, Jules' mum Robin agrees to back them up.
How you going? How you going? What's your name? Pat. Nice to meet you, Pat. How you going?
I'm Jules' mum.
Hello. What's your name? Who's your favourite?
I didn't think we'd get to see anyone. I said it's worth the drive. Okay, you photo with me?
Live on the coast. Go now.
The shy couple seem to be doing okay.
Simon, how you going, mate? I'm allowed to tell you who's winning the AFL. Who's that? The Lions have not lost a game and they're kicking everybody.
If you win the hot house, are you going to have more children?
No, we're not. We decided that 2 was enough and I had a vasectomy. Happy Easter. Thanks for coming down. Happy Easter.
Now Pete, the crowd pleaser, seems to be feeling left out by the events, so he marches in to entertain all. And Brett has an idea. Not to be outdone, Robin's so proud of her daughter Jules, she's sneaking back to the gate to talk about her daughter some more.
That's her little girl. In her fairy dress.
They're welcome on the island.
Are they? Yeah. You both for them? Go,
Yeah,
go. Their mum and dad with the two kids.
And Jules is so embarrassed. Eventually, Simon reappears to see what all the fuss is about.
Simon, did you get teased at school for your freckles?
Yep, it's a hard life. You might have an idea about how you're going. But don't worry. End up growing pretty strong.
Simon and Jules have been loved by the hothouse tradesmen because of their head-down, tail-up approach to the job site. But unfortunately, that means some people don't see much of them.
I think Simon's just coming out of his shell now.
I'd like to see Simon and Jules get a little bit more recognition. Yeah, it's very easy for people to call out G'day Pete and all those other names, but really, Simon and Jules, you look at them here, you see them working, they really put in.
It might look like we're doing it easy here, but sometimes it's a bit hard mentally, so it's really nice when people come down and say good well wishes.
Now the crowd has developed an appetite. They demand an audience with the second nominated couple.
Morning. This is my old man. I'm the old bloke.
What's it like being kept inside for all this long time?
I feel like actually in a goldfish bowl, you know?
Yes, you would do.
For the boys, things aren't going their way. This sign arrives halfway through, tipping Simon and Jules to win.
Who's going on Monday, Joe?
Don't tell you that.
Don't know yet.
I'll tell you, not us.
Now, Alex had a problem with the crowds here yesterday, and he wants to make his point again.
I want to thank you all for today for the reception you've given these guys, and this is the sort of stuff that came over the fence yesterday, right?
Yeah, well, you know who that was from.
Yeah, well,
Tina.
well, it doesn't matter, but, you know, we're just saying thank you for the reception you've given us, my boy,
I don't mind
today.
talking to the person that gave this out.
Well, it was me.
Why is that?
And why were you so rude to Tina the other night when she had tea with you?
Why?
That was the biggest insult anyone could bloody will give any human being.
I disagree with you because I felt like Jeff was being completely genuine.
That's a dreadful thing. A dreadful thing to do.
No, I think he was being honest.
No, that's just
he wouldn't
you're
normally.
probably a snob like him.
I'm not a snob.
I want to tell you that on the outside, I wouldn't have the likes of you for dinner or in my house. That's what you said.
And that goes ditto for you.
Yeah.
Go,
Brett. Well, I think it's just go Pete and Tina. Life would be much easier for the others inside if this pair went home. Get rid of it.
You go home.
Why don't you get lost, Emma?
Thank you very much.
That was an absolutely fair old lady.
Still to come, what do the hothouse parents think when they watch the show?
Bloody fool. Don't do things like that.
And Alex bears his soul about his eldest boy.
Brett stands by what he is.
Since the parents arrived at the hothouse, they've brought a special friendliness to the site.
Would you like anything else? Another drink or something?
That's great. Thanks for doing that.
And of course, they're all sure their child deserves the keys to the hothouse the most.
She's been a great daughter. Really, really proud of her, and she's an excellent mum. She loves her two kids, yeah.
But winning the $2 million prize was never going to be easy. So what's it like on nomination night at Robin's house?
Every Monday night, I'm a nervous wreck.
What about the time Jules was accused of conspiring?
I did hear something last night which I wanted to bring up with you guys. Peter told us about you guys approaching them for an alliance.
For him to like turn around and say, it's just it's just
Oh, I couldn't sleep that night. I was so upset. And I don't think Jules, honestly, would... she's got too much integrity to have said that, or maybe what she did say might have been misinterpreted or something.
If Robin's a nervous wreck, what's life like for family and friends of Tina? She's been up for elimination nearly every week she's been on the show.
The kids enjoy it, and I'm normally talking to them, especially Pete, telling them, you know, don't do that. Get back to work. When he flattened that ball with the sledgehammer, and the kids looked at me and I, bloody fool, don't do things like that.
Week after week, Maryse watched Pete and Tina collect the most nomination votes of any hothouse couple.
If she was here by herself, yeah, she'd reached her. She would have been close to the other girls instead of on the outer.
And Marie knows exactly why her daughter's under pressure.
Pete pulls some ridiculous antics. And I will admit, he does go a bit beyond what he should, which reflects on Tina as well.
Finally, there's a warning.
Yeah, there hasn't been any fireworks yet. Put it this way, he doesn't get physically violent, but he will explode, go off his head. So if he really does it, turn around and walk away, or else you're gonna cop it.
The stress also gets to Brett's father, Alex, but he's actually proud that his son's a chip off the old block.
When it was time for the contestants to cook tea for one another, and some people perceived that Brett was rude.
If I was in the real world, I'd never have you over for dinner.
Okay. But Brett told it straight from the heart in an honest, frank and forthright manner. Typical Brett. Brett stands by what he is, and that's it.
Like his son, Alex enjoys a little peat bashing.
The man doesn't know how to use a saw. I've watched him shovel. He'd be better off using a spoon. I wouldn't hire him as a builder's labourer's labourer.
But Alex admits he hasn't always been in Brett's corner. There was a time when the two didn't speak.
I'm the father of a gay young man, and it's taken me a long, long time to come to grips with that. But he had enough courage to tell me and to tell his mother, right? And the three of us sat there and we cried our eyes out, right? It took me nearly 8 months to come to terms and to come to grips with it. It took me 12 months to be able to ring my son up. Mum said, well, because Mum's Christian, and I am too, and she said, it's not for you to judge. Others will judge that, and God will judge it. And after Mum had said that to me, I slowly came to the realisation of what she said was true. It's not his fault, and it's not the fault of all the gays in Western Australia, or Australia for that matter, that they are the way they are. All you need to know about a person is that he's honest, he's true to what he says, right, and he's a person of integrity. And that's, for me, that's all that mattered.
Next, can you remember your favourite childhood dish?
My mum was famous for her date scones, but I'm famous for my cupcakes.
And Brett gets thrown a curly one.
Do you prefer men or women?
As the autumn sun sinks, the gang gathers at the back of the hothouse.
Alright guys, this is for your timber deck out here. We'll get these holes dug today if we can, 10 to 5 now. We reckon, Simon, about 20 minutes a hole?
5 minutes a hole.
5 minutes a hole?
5 people digging, Pete filling them back in again, so it should be about an hour and a half.
Alrighto, let's go. Come on, digging's supposed to be fun.
Meanwhile, the contestants are in for a surprise. Their folks are secretly preparing their favourite childhood dish.
This is Tina's favourite dessert, golden syrup steamed pudding. Used to love it as a kid, and I think every time I make it for her now, she loves me for it even more.
My mum was famous for her date scones, but I'm famous for my cupcakes. Jules liked these cupcakes when she'd come home from school. I used to decorate them in different icings or whatever.
We're having spaghetti bog tonight, my version of it. Nowhere near as good as his mother's or Brett's, but it's my turn. When he was in the Institute of Sport, when he was a little tacker, I used to go and pick him up, and I'd come home Monday nights and we'd have spaghetti bog on the table.
All right, guys, you had enough for the day?
Absolutely. Well, do you know what? We've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 holes, you only asked for 4, so we're up 6.
All right, let's call it.
Let's go to the RSL and make the last hour of happy hour.
Finally, it's over for the day, and the couples are enjoying their culinary treats.
Guess what we've got? We've got golden syrup steamed pudding. Have a nosy at that. This has been my favourite since I was a little Tina.
However, at Caravan 7, it seems Alex's spaghetti bolognese doesn't measure up, despite its nostalgia value.
Spaghetti and meat sauce, it's very nice.
The polite thing to say is that it doesn't matter about the meal, it's the conversation.
The way, that's right.
And I like especially how the sauce is actually in your glasses. It's cool.
I think that's great too.
Here's one now.
They're not quite as puffy and fluffy.
No, because it was sort of... I wasn't in my own kitchen with my own oven and...
But it was a great surprise to come back
And they smell bloody good. A little bit of icing.
It'll be great. We'll have them for morning tea tomorrow. We might have some for dessert tonight too.
Thanks for making them for us.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
It's nice to have you around here.
Yeah.
Not just for your cooking skills.
After dinner, the olds are banished to the alfresco dining area. The contestants want to revisit their adolescence with a game of truth or dare, and things might get a little risque.
Okay, 10.
Truth or dare?
Truth or dare?
Truth.
Where did you have your first kiss?
I think on the school oval. Yeah.
Was it a pash?
No, it wasn't a pash. It was just like, oh, I got excited. I was going to kiss
It's now Tina's turn to ask the question.
Brett.
True.
Truth? Do you prefer men or women?
Well, Jeff's a woman, so women.
That was stupid. Good question, but stupid answer.
Hey,
I'll go dare, man.
Oh, God.
Pete's gone the dare, but what will Brett dream up?
I dare you to shave your chest.
What now?
No!
Oh, my
Just that.
Lord.
Are you serious?
Oh, it's a dare, man. I'll do it. I'm not ashamed, man. I've got no shame. It's only hair. Great, we've got plenty of hair.
I'll go get the stuff.
Oh, God.
It's called Satin Care and Gillette Razor.
Look,
chest
I'm not
break?
looking.
Oh, poor Tina.
What is this?
Shaving men is not a spectator sport. Just don't need to watch.
Gotta side with Simon on that one. Dare or no dare, when it comes to hair removal, it should probably be kept behind closed caravan doors. Anyhow, with Pete and Tina taking a rest from elimination, we have 2 couples for you to shave. Save this week. Just dial 188 1110 and SMS the number 6 for Simon and Jules or 7 for Brett and Jeff. Otherwise, vote via our website.
From now on, you can also win yourself $40,000 worth of prizes in the Hot House Vote and Win giveaway. When you're voting online or writing your